Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Justice. I'm your host, Suzette Speaks. I want to thank you for watching this special edition. We are going to be discussing and getting an exclusive update from the cousin of Miya Marcano. She is live with us from Orlando, Florida. For those of you who may not have heard of this story, we are following the case of Miya Marcano, a wonderful 19-year-old woman who unfortunately went missing last Friday, September 24th. We are going to provide you with some more facts as they're unfolding. And this show is really about hopefully allowing someone to hear something that jogs their memory, whether you're in Orlando, Seminole County, or the surrounding areas, to help find and bring this young woman home safely. If you have not connected with me before, I'm sorry. You see the guest that we're going to have. You see her name up. Once again, I'm Suzette Speaks. We're going to welcome you. Please do hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Hit that like, share, and subscribe so most people will get to see this. More people see this, the better. I am an attorney here in South Florida, and I'm not going to be giving any legal advice today. So if you are desiring for a legal opinion on something, contact an attorney directly and they can make an assessment of your case. So now that all the disclaimers are out of the way, once again, for you guys who have not been following, or if you're just hearing about this for the first time, a young woman, 19 years old, from South Florida, recent graduate of Flanagan High School, went up to Orlando recently to attend University of Central Florida. She unfortunately, while working or after she got off work, we haven't heard from her. She left work at 5 p.m., was supposed to catch a flight at 8 p.m. that very evening, did not. Her parents were therefore alarmed. And when they drove up from South Florida to Orlando, they found a harrowing scene inside of her apartment. There were signs that, it was ransacked. They found a broken chain, other evidence that something was really wrong. So if you have not seen the prior video, please, you can do a Google search of her, Miya Marcano, to understand where we are in the case. But I want to honor this young lady's time. This is her cousin who is coming through. I'm going to add her now. And her name is Miss Caili Sue. She has been very busy today, came from a press conference not too long ago, earlier, and was giving statements to the press. And I was like, whoa, can you please take some time to come through? And she was, very much obliged to that. So welcome, Caili Sue. How are you?
Um, all right, just kind of pushing through. Honestly, usually I take things day by day. I have a good day and a bad day and whatever. But now things have gone to a point where I take things hour by hour, because as of right now, we're still searching. But within the hour, maybe we could have some really great news. Maybe we could have some really bad news. We don't know. So I'm just taking it a little bit at a time.
I can only imagine. And my prayers, and of course, all of those people watching definitely are standing in solidarity with you and your family. We are respectfully trying to get more information from you. I know there's so much more you could be doing and going on. So, again, thank you for spending the time here. So, I want to start with the press conference. Since you just came from it, the sheriff's office, I believe, just had a press conference with some updates. Can you give us the latest on what's going on?
Sure. So the press conference, I believe, was what I would consider more of like a media release. The sheriff hasn't really communicated much with the media directly, besides the press conference that they had a few days ago when they announced that Armando had died. So I think that they wanted to give the media, a chance to ask them any questions that they had, because they've been relying on us for all of their information. So during that time, they really just spoke about the investigation and how it's going. They talked about the different units that they have in the different areas and the amounts, which was good because we know that they're working. But it's better when you can hear those numbers. Like, we have 60 units over here, we have 30 units over here. It makes you feel like they really are working on something. They spoke about that. And they also just talked about a timeline of events that happened. They said that they were able to capture the person of interest within 24 hours of them picking up the case, which is true, because that was when they picked up the case. However, I believe that if they had picked up the case a little bit faster, maybe he would have been caught sooner. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much the majority of it. They didn't really provide any new information, nothing that hasn't been shared on the news already, just that they came, they assessed, They sealed off Mia's room as a crime scene. They took
Mm-hmm.
out any evidence. From there, they started their investigation. They interviewed all of us, all of our thoughts on it, and then they just took everything and started investigating.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much all that they said on the press conference.
Yeah, it's very interesting because sometimes with these cases, and I want to thank all the viewers. Thank you so much for checking in. I see you guys. Blind Guy, his wife, their life, sending love and light and positive energy to you and your family and everyone who's affected. Thank you so much. Again, Let's Talk Justice today is dedicated to an update on the Miya Marcano case. I have her cousin live and direct from the Orlando area, literally coming from a press conference where she just described. And I think sometimes the police, Caili, get very nervous because they want to say something, but there is not a whole lot they can release because they don't want to give away too much in case, it tips off whoever. So It's kind of frustrating. You're like, well, tell us more. Tell us more.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's something that we spoke about. I spoke about that earlier with some of the media for our local news. And it was kind of funny because I'm like, I look at the amount of people that we have here that are willing to do anything to help with this search for Miya. And I see that they have all these units out there, but sometimes they're wearing orange shirts, like highlighter orange shirts when they go into the bushes, and they have machetes and they're using it to chop down any bushes, things like that. And I'm like, give me an orange shirt. Show me what to do. Show me where to go, and I will be there. Yesterday, I was about ankle deep in mud in the bushes, just looking for Miya, calling for her. And thinking about that, I'm like, I will do anything. Train me, tell me what to do. I take instruction very well.
Yeah.
Our whole family will do anything to help them, help us find my cousin.
So I'm going to just take you back. And I know this might be a little bit traumatic because obviously you're living this. Mm-hmm. I am grateful for your insight because there are so many people who see the hashtags of all these people, new month, new missing person. It's so sad. Yeah. And they're not really, able to gain a window into what that person or that family member is going through as they're experiencing that type of trauma. Right. When did you find out that Miya was gone or that no one had heard from her?
I was one of the first people, actually. My aunt is Mia's grandmother. And when she couldn't contact Miya, she gave me a call and she said, hey, when's the last time you spoke to Miya? And it dawned on me that I had been snapping her all day and she hadn't really responded much. So I figured maybe she was just having a busy day at work when she wasn't really answering. And I was like, she'll have some good laughs when she gets off. When my aunt mentioned to me, she called me and she said, hey, you spoke to Miya? And I was like, no. And I said, hold on one second, because I always have Mia's location. So I immediately went into Find My Friends on iPhone and I looked for Mia's location. It said location not found. Miya does not let her phone die. And if her phone is going to die, she notifies someone, or if something happens to her phone, the first person that she would reach out to is her dad. And she would just say, Dad, don't worry about me. My phone just died. I can't tell you the amount of times that we've gone places, whether we go on vacation together or if we're out somewhere and her phone's just low, or if she put it away. If she says, oh, I'm going to leave my phone in the car, can you text my dad so he can contact you to contact me? She would have notified someone if her phone died. So I said her phone is definitely off because her location is off, but I'm not really sure. And my aunt said to me in that moment, she said, something's wrong. And I said, oh, of course you don't want to hear that. So I was like, well, no, maybe. I said, let's just reach out to a couple people. And she said, okay. I said, I'm going to reach out to her roommate and some of her friends that I know that she made recently, and I will get back to you. And she said, okay. In the meantime, I'm going to look into the flight, see if she checked in or anything like that. And I said, all right, cool. So that's when we kind of started our investigation, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So I reached out to her roommate on Instagram. I didn't have her phone number or anything. And I said, hey, did you speak to Miya? And she said no. She was at work. And I said, okay, do you know when you're going to be home? She said, yeah, as soon as I get off work, I'm going home. I said, all right. So when you get home, if you see Miya, and let me know as soon as possible. And in the meantime, I just reached out to a couple other people that may have been hanging out with her. But no one had spoken to her. The last communications at that time were around maybe 5, but at that point we didn't know that. And her dad was on a flight home from LA. So we didn't really have much communication with him, but we were able to, because, a lot of planes have Wi-Fi and stuff now. So we were able to reach out to him as well.
So Was it something? So I love the fact that you were sitting the table for us to understand who she was as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So she was very responsible because as I've been reading about missing people, people think that they're a third are runaways. So there's no likelihood in this case, clearly, of the pattern that she demonstrated before, that she would always tell you guys where she was. She would always, let you know if the phone was dying, and definitely tell her dad, etc. So you get in contact with the roommates. The roommates hadn't heard from her. What then? What happened next?
After that, my aunt just said, she said the same thing that I said, which was maybe her phone really is just dead. Maybe something happened and to her phone, and that's why she isn't able to communicate. So I'm just gonna check the airport just in case. At that point, I was a little bit unsure because I figured even if her phone wasn't working, we would have been able to track that she checked into her flight. But of course, you always want to be optimistic, and I was like, okay, maybe something just happened. And she checked the airport. She wasn't there by that time. Her father had he landed, and he said, okay, I'm going to Orlando. And I said, okay, me too. I did not even it's so funny because now everyone has the expectations for me to be prepared for everything, and I came up here with nothing. I came up with the shirt on my back. I had no extra clothes. Since then, my family, my mom, my sister, they brought me up some clothes and things like that, but I had nothing with me because
I said literally that was Saturday or Sunday.
That was Friday evening.
Friday evening.
That was very late Friday. And because we left home between 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. on Saturday, so it felt like it was still Friday.
Okay. So all of this happened, literally transpired like from you guys realized her phone is dead and that she didn't check into her flight. Alarm bells were ringing. Everybody was kind of jumping into action, like what's going on. So
we hopped in our car, went. We met up at her dad's house. My cousins coordinated so that we wouldn't have to all drive. With it being so late, we could all ride together. Then we have multiple drivers in one car. If someone gets tired, we can pick up, because we drive 3 hours to get here. And we hopped in the car and we came and we said, we're going to figure out where Miya is. When for me, I, of course, had the hopes that we were going to get here and Miya was just going to be taking a nap. Or maybe she was going to be out or something like that. So I was not expecting this and not expecting for this to be going on for this long.
So it's a bit surreal, I bet, because you were expecting to go and say, hey, girl, what's going on? I saw you didn't answer your phone. What's going, like telling her.
And keep it moving. Like, I can't believe you did whatever.
But I'm so glad we have a better understanding of the timeline. So literally Friday night into Saturday early morning, y'all were already on the road. Somebody was like, yeah, no.
As soon as let's make it. Told me something is wrong, I sat up in my bed and I just waited for the go ahead. And my cousin Marlon, he had been texting me as well. He said, have you spoken to my mom? I said, yes. You going to Orlando? He said, we're going. I said, all right, I'll be there in a little bit. And he lives about 15 minutes from my house.
So all the folks from South Florida, like I said, rallied and said, no, we got to figure out where she is and what happened. Wow. Mm-hmm. How many you said?
It was 3 cars of us. And then now we are completely filling up our hotel parking lot.
Wow.
There's no people here searching with us.
Andrew Love says the media does not talk about missing Black kids or kids of color, especially. I do not mind doing Amber Alerts on Caucasian people from Texas. I hear you. Thank you. She Nurses TV saying hey to the fam. So many people are around watching this. Blind Guy, his wife says, this humanizes me. Yes, your story helps us to communicate better. Keep our batteries charged. Always check in with family. Have multiple layers of accountability. Yes, because this creates the pattern. That's how y'all knew from jump. We have to go up there. She's not this person.
Family oriented. She's always in communication with someone. So whether it be her mom, her dad, her grandma, me, her brother, there's always something going on. And there's times that she even just texts her dad like, hey, it's me, your favorite child, just letting you know I'm eating chicken tenders. Just because she just
she would not have just stopped communication abruptly and missed a flight, more importantly.
Yes, especially because she wanted to come home. She wanted to see us. She had reached out to us all and said, can you come this weekend? I had a busy weekend planned. So I said, no, I have some things planned. And I actually wasn't feeling very well. And I said, I don't feel well and I don't want to bring a cold to you. And she was like, okay. And then my aunt said, then you just come home. If you want us to come see you and we can't see you, then come home to us.
So you get there, the 3 cars of cousins, family, whoever go together. It's early morning, late night Friday, early morning Saturday. And then what happens when you guys get to the apartment complex?
When we got to the apartment complex, there is a security guard that like a nighttime security guard that drives around the community, and he had actually been there just, I don't know if he was just waiting or just patrolling like he's supposed to. And we asked him if he was there when the police came, and he said yes. And we asked him if he could please just join us in and let us know like what happened, take us through the steps. So he said he walked us around the building, he told us his thoughts and stuff, and we really encouraged that he came with us because he was there when the police were there the first time. In that moment, we also reached out to her roommate. She wasn't home because she didn't really feel comfortable with staying in her room. Of course, I understand. So she came back at that time about 3:30 in the morning and let us into the apartment. And when we went into the apartment, Mia's bedroom was in a disarray. Mia is a very clean person. She's our princess. She's everybody's princess. Mia had teachers who were calling her princess instead of Mia. She was a pageant queen when she was a kid, and she's always been like a princess. Like I don't even know how to describe it.
We get it. We all have that one person in the family, that young woman that we're like, no, you are together.
Glamorous. She always has her nails done. Her eyebrows are always on point. Her hair is always brushed. She doesn't leave the house looking any way other than on point. Yes. Perfect, on fleek. She's good.
As a princess should. Exactly. Absolutely.
So when we went into her room and we saw, first thing that stood out to us all is that her bed was unmade. Mia always makes her bed. This year for her apartment, she asked me, can you help me decorate my apartment? And I helped her pick out all the decorations. I purchased everything and she paid me back. I had it shipped to my house. I set everything up with her. I said, we're going to do a little gallery wall with pictures from our trips and pictures of things that you like. We had a beautiful picture of her right in the middle. And I had that whole setup, and it was like a whole lot of strategy that went behind it. I picked it out. I laid out all the pictures multiple times. I was flipping them all around so that they would look good together. We picked her bedding. I said, we're going to go with something nice and neutral, and then we'll add in pops of blue because that's her favorite color. So she had her comforter set, her regular like sleeping pillows, and then she had two big plush blue decorative pillows. And if Teddy, her cute little teddy bear that her dad bought her, doesn't go with her everywhere, he's sitting right on the bed, right on top. So when we went there, we didn't see Teddy. The bed was in a disarray. We knew something was off because Mia makes her bed every day. Even when she sleeps at my house, she makes her bed. She'll make the bed for us. I go step out and she's back.
I love it because we're getting a better picture of who she was as a human. So meticulous, liked order, very cleanly. No, put herself together. Like you said, brows on point, not stepping out of her house any kind of way. So you knew when y'all opened that door, this was not good. Right. So bed was unmade. And what else did you see when you went into her apartment?
It looked like there was like a bit of a struggle in her room. There were some things thrown around and some of her jewelry was on the floor. Mia, her stepmom always describes her as a creature of habit. That's exactly what she is. Mia wears the same jewelry every single day. I do as well, but she has a set of bangles that a close family friend on her mom's side has purchased a lot of them for her and her mom as well. And they each have different types of charms, or some of them are plain, but she wears them all of the time. Whether they match with whatever vibe she's going with or not, she's wearing those bangles. And she also wears two chains. One is a nameplate and one is another gold chain that has a heart pendant that her dad and stepmother got for her. So when we walked into the room, the chain was popped on the ground, but the charm was not there. Teddy was thrown far into the closet, and we're like, Teddy would never be thrown on the ground. Not Mia's Teddy. Then of course I mentioned the bedding, and then some of the bangles were thrown around the room. So we're like, okay, this is weird because Mia wouldn't throw her things on the floor. She puts her things away always.
Wow. So when did you guys call police? So you step in, you're looking around, you're like, this is not Mia's room. This is not what she would, the condition she would leave it in. When do you guys call police? Or initially after everybody does the kind of walkthrough, do you go immediately around the apartment complex yourselves? Do you call the police right away? What was the next step you guys took?
The police did come earlier because we asked them to do a wellness check. And when they went there, they had realized that Mia's door had been barricaded shut and that the window was unlocked. They put her roommate through the window so that she could open the door from the inside and let them in.
Hold on. Sorry.
I could take it back.
Her room door was barricaded. Her, excuse me, apartment door was
No, her bedroom
barricaded, or
apartment.
bedroom door.
Yes. So, and to get into the apartment, you need a key fob. So her
Right.
roommate, when we told her, I said, as soon as you get off of work, if you could go home, because we're sending the police there and they would need to get in to knock on Mia's door or anything like that. She said, yes, absolutely. When she opened it up, Mia's door wouldn't open. So then they went around the building and her window was unlocked. So the police opened the window and assisted the roommate to get in so that she could open the door from the inside. But there was a piece of furniture, like a cubby set, that was blocking the door. She moved it out of the way, let the police in. They looked at the room, took down whatever information they needed, and then they left. So when we arrived at about 3 o'clock in the morning, as soon as we got there, my cousin Marlon, her dad, he called the police and said, I need you to come back because I wasn't here when you came here. So I want to see, what is it that happened? Tell me about what happened when you came. What did you do? And then in the time that we were waiting for them to come, that's when we were in her apartment, just kind of looking around, trying to get an idea. What's going on? What can we find? Can we find her phone? Can we find anything in her room?
I see the chat lighting up. Thank you. We are humanizing Miss Mia Marcano. It's good to know the people that we see these headlines about. I'm talking with Miss Caili Sue. She's a cousin of Mia Marcano, the young lady who is still currently missing in Orlando, telling us a little bit about her experience as a family member, discovering that her cousin was missing, and how basically she's been living for the last few days with, kind of just this turmoil and uncertainty, and what it's like to actually, be in her shoes. So I'm grateful that you're spending time with us. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Justice. The most important thing is to like and share this video. More people need to see her name. More people need to know her name.
Absolutely.
We do not want this story to die down. We want to bring Mia home, and we want to make sure more people are aware. So back to what transpired when you guys get there. When her father comes in, calls the police back. But mostly, I guess there are two facts there that stand out mostly to me. The door being barricaded, obviously that's alarming, because one would not barricade their door from the outside. They must have been inside when they barricaded it. So it does give us a very big context clue as to what happened and where the person left, because the window was unlocked. So there is a big clue there. And I just got goosebumps thinking about that. And then obviously you're saying the condition of her room versus the person that she was is a huge clue that, something is definitely awry, and that this wasn't her. So once the police come, now do you initially file a missing person report? I want people to know the steps. Is it like, okay, do you claim that she's missing? Do the police treat it as a crime right away? When does it transition to, wait a minute, this is actually something that must be handled as a bigger investigation, from the inception of when you guys are there? Or how does it transition to, like, no, we gotta start a search?
This was a little bit different because I was told on the way up that because of her room being found in the state that it was, that a missing person report would be put in immediately. Typically with missing persons, they have to wait 24 hours before they report someone missing. But they said that because of the state of her room, that they would be putting it in as a missing persons report. Since then, there's been a lot of confusion with, for me, with exactly how events have transpired, because in the time that there have been police involved and doing investigations and things like that, I've been on the road searching.
So a lot. So okay, so the logistics of when and what the paperwork looked like and all that, you're not into that. You've been actually on this.
But I was under the impression that a missing person report was put in from when they initially came. However, no one has been able to confirm exactly when the missing report was actually.
Okay. But they took action from that Saturday morning as if they had someone that was missing. That's where I want to get to. When was the shift from, okay, we did a wellness check, we see things that are very alarming, and now we have to turn this into, a search. That happened around Saturday
that's
morning?
Where they're a little bit gray for me.
Okay, I understand you.
Actually took that action at that exact moment, or if they were telling me that. When I would ask some of the police officers, I said, is this a missing person? Do we have a detective yet? Has anyone been assigned yet? The answer was always no. There was one police officer that I asked, when will our detective be showing up? Like, I'm thinking there's so many things that have been going on during this time. When are they going to come? When are they going to question us? When are they going to look at her room? When are they going to fingerprint? And he said the detective will show up when he wants to show up. And I said, okay. I have a friend who works in Miami-Dade, and she in law enforcement, and she said, okay, I'm gonna just let you know a couple of ways to like the verbiage to use, so that way they know that you know what you're speaking of. Because she's like, you know what you're saying. She's like, but I want you to use the verbiage that they use internally, so they'll know you're just as knowledgeable as they are. And I said, okay.
Absolutely.
And she just told me the same questions that I was asking. She just said, like, instead of saying, when are they going to show up? Say this. So then I said, okay.
Yeah.
And she coached me a little bit, and I asked them those questions, and there still wasn't much of a budge, which was a little bit disappointing for me because, like I said, if someone tells me right now, hey, we need some help filing some paperwork in the police office so that way the actual police can go and look for your cousin, you better believe I will go put on my mask, go into the sheriff's office and file paperwork if I have to. Whatever I have to do to help this investigation, I'm willing. And so, so for all of us.
I can imagine that being kind of like a little bit hectic and
Yeah.
confusing. Trying to put myself in the position of the police as well.
Yes.
There are two sides of how they're handling it, an internal affairs ish look at like one person should be in charge, in my opinion, but I'm sure somebody was on it. Maybe not as
Maybe
one
not as aggressive.
detective, yeah, or what? Yeah, exactly. I'm like somebody should have been on it. Want to read a couple comments? Bacardi Stevens, thank you. I'm sorry. I want to wish this. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. I have two daughters. I can't imagine the pain this family feels. Thanks for the updates. Don't quit. Don't give up. Please, God will shine the light. That's what we're hoping for. Thank you so much. Hot Chocolate says, please, Mia, come home safely. Yes, she nurses TV says, I literally just did a video on us covering our own stories yesterday. That's why I'm here, guys. It is a very crucial time. It is still early. We still have hope. There is a possibility of her very much coming home. So we're going to keep talking about her. We're going to bring light to this case as long as we need to make sure that we are honoring her just the way anybody else would deserve to, as far as being covered and being talked about. So go ahead and use the hashtag bring home Mia or bring home Mia Marcano. Also, I want to introduce you for those who are just watching. I'm so grateful. We have a huge audience watching right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is Miss Caili Sue. She is sitting in her car in Orlando, Florida, ready to go back on this search. And I asked her if she can make time today. She just came from a press conference, spoke to the press. She's kind of been one of the leaders in the family to be more vocal. And I'm grateful that she would take the time out to join us on this platform so we can do what we can here in South Florida, throughout the Orlando community, to continue to raise Mia Marcano's name to the level that it should be in terms of our thinking and our thoughts. So we want to make sure you guys know, please like, please share, please subscribe, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube. I'm going to read a couple more comments, and then I want to get to the search you guys have been doing, because I think people are curious about what's happening on a day to day. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Angela. Angela says, praying for strength for the family, praying for protection over Mia, praying that she is found safe and reunited with us all. Absolutely. I really am. I'm just so moved with what I've been seeing in our community here from South Florida, the people posting in their stories, the people posting online. That's what it's going to take, y'all, to keep this in the forefront when it comes to mainstream media. We don't want to get quiet. Sometimes they say, the we have to make noise. You get the most of the squeaky wheel. There you go. Gets the most attention. We got to be squeaky guys when it comes to Mia. So I am going to ask you now about what search effort. So we kind of got a better idea of who she is. Miss Princess, loving to her family, very orderly, wouldn't just disappear on her own. And some of the details about the apartment, I think, are very striking here too. So what happens next in terms of organizing? I know you guys have been having vigils and kind of spread out around Orlando to do some searching. Tell us what that is like.
So our searches have really all been based on leads that were either sent to us by people via Instagram, Facebook, texting us, and also, of course, the police as well. The police have been letting us know whenever they receive any leads that they may be searching an area, so that way we can assist in any way that we can. So we were doing some search we tried to do a little bit of a search party yesterday. We had everyone meet up at the Ruby Tuesday nearby, to just so that way we wouldn't have everyone looking in one area and we wouldn't have people looking in areas that we've already checked. So we got together and we had, I think it was 3 different areas that they had us going around to, that they had said, these are the places that we checked, these are the places we haven't checked, and these are the ones that we've received tips on. And people were just sending us things like, oh, this is a really nice park. It's very wooded. You should probably go and check that out. And it was all very, very helpful. Today, though, since what was his name? Armando's car was found after he killed himself, they were able to just continue just searching through his car, getting any information that they can, any evidence from there. And with that, they have been, of course, reviewing his phone records, and they were looking at the last pings on his phone, the pings to the cell towers. So some of the last pings on the cell towers were near Lake Monroe. So they did have a dive team out there. So there's not really much that we can do because none of us are equipped for diving right now. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody is, though, because people have brought out so many different things that they're like, oh, I have this flashlight and it's like super cool and industrial. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. I've never seen this before. Everyone's been bringing as many tools as they can to help us search. So that's been pretty cool. But they also said that there was a ping near New Smyrna Beach. New Smyrna Beach is about an hour or so from this part of Orlando.
To the east or to the west?
I think it's east because it's closer
to Daytona.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
okay,
that area.
A ping from his cell phone close to New Smyrna?
Yes.
Before he passed?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the last pings on his cell phone. So that cell tower, though, it covers, I think I've heard, I don't know if it's correct or not, but that it can cover up to a 50-mile radius. So that's a lot of area to cover. Wow. So they were inviting us. The police said we're going to be searching in this area, and they encouraged us to come and join them and to raise awareness of there. That's why I really appreciate being on here, because we need to continue to get word out. Some people, they may not know. They may not be on the news, or they might not be on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever the case. So it's good to have outlets where we can
more publicity, the better. Y'all please share this.
And also all of the prayers and the positive thoughts and energies that are being sent in our way. They're so appreciated. We believe in the power of prayer, and we know that if everyone is praying for us, it will help us take everything day by day, and it will also help Mia come home.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the searching before we move on to Armando, because I see a couple of comments here I really want you to address.
Okay. So the search today.
So who is organized? So you are, or somebody in your family is saying, hey, 20 people, start over here. Use the sticks. Like we're seeing images.
Right. That's what we try to do every morning. Because overnight there may be updates, and then my cousin Marlon receives updates in the morning from
her dad
department. Yes. So we usually have a plan, like, okay, if we don't hear anything, this is where we're going to search, but then let's wait and see. And then if there's an update. So he told us to go ahead and check out New Smyrna. He hadn't really heard much. And since then, I actually was told that I think about 35 units went out. Police officers went out there to search because they started getting more pings from that area. So they have more places that they could really zone in on. Like, it's, I guess, like centralized.
There's so many questions in this chat. I want to learn more about the search as well. I'm going to so you guys are listening for police to say this is where we think she may be. You have volunteers. Are there UCF students? Is it only family? Is it community members?
Have been just neighbors. They're like, I've never seen Mia before, but I want to look. That just even random people. There was a person that randomly, she came up, she said, I don't know, something just told me that I needed to be here and I wanted to help you today. I said, all right, let's go. You're more than welcome. There have been some UCF students, and I think that they're UCF students because they have UCF gear on, hats and shirts and things like that. And also some friends from even back home as well, because some of her friends also came up here for school, and they're neighbors and in the area.
So let me ask you, do you need people? Like, say we can get up there this weekend. Is that something that we should make a plea for, or are you guys good with the amount of volunteers that you're getting?
As of right now, we do have a lot. We have a lot of people here.
Okay.
But we will, if we are looking for more, you'll see it on our social media. We will be out. We'll make it very loud and very known that we
I'm
need.
just glad you got a huge squad out there.
Yes.
Thank you again. I am going to continue to look through the comments. I have about 20 that went by. Caili Sue, cousin to Miya Marcano, still missing. I'm glad she is giving us some insight, some real intimate detail about who Miya was as a person and about what their family is experiencing. I saw a comment here that really kind of jarred me, and I'm just going to go back to it because I want to know more about and I guess you can tell us what you can tell us, and sometimes within investigations it's better not to at times. But I saw a comment here that really just struck me. I heard, let me see if I can find it. Thank you guys for watching and sharing. Whether you just joined us, I'm Suzette Speaks, an attorney here in South Florida, discussing Miya Marcano's disappearance in Orlando with her cousin, Miss Caili Sue. They're asking about canine dogs. They're asking about so many things here. And I saw one though.
So many different resources, and now the FBI is involved with the case, and because of that, they also have additional technologies that maybe the local and county police departments don't. So we've used dogs. I've seen helicopters. I've seen police officers on foot in the car. They have the dive team. I think that they were also in boats.
Okay, so they've been full-fledged out there.
The canine dogs have been out pretty much everywhere that we go. They went to her room, to the community. They were out in the forest that we were looking for that was near where Armando was found. Everywhere that we go, they bring these dogs out. They also indicated today, which I didn't know. I thought that they were only like dogs for scent. They're also dogs that are trained specifically to smell for electronics, and specifically for cell phones. So in the process of us looking for her cell phone, that's what they brought out, which is really great.
I hate to bring this up. It's bothering me, and some people have handled it in the chat. Thank you very much. I don't know if this is a bot or a real person. I pray that she is found safe. I heard she is pregnant with Armando's child. Is there any speculation as to the nature of? I understood from media reports that she had rebuffed Armando and that he was checking for her, and she was not having any of it. Is that what you've heard? Or can you clarify that? Because we're not going to spread rumors here.
Exactly.
I see Shanice went, Miya was not pregnant, nor was she involved romantically with the suspect. Please let us know what you know.
No, exactly what you said, what you heard is correct. Miya was not interested in Armando. He was making advances at her, and she had declined them. From what I've been told, she did tell some of her friends that he made her feel uncomfortable. And no, she is absolutely not pregnant.
Foolishness. Let's
not pregnant with his child. She's not pregnant with anybody's child.
Let's cut that now. No, it's people out here that's gonna try to.
Oh no, I understand.
You know the mix up. You know they want to create the mix up. So we're not having that here. All right.
Thank you.
What about this? Someone had his phone. Do you any speculation about that?
They're still trying to locate his phone. So if we can find someone that had his phone, that would be great. As of right now, when we hear about the pings and the areas that they had been in, that's one thing that we are all searching for. Okay. They've been right now, the divers that are going into that lake, they were searching specifically for not only his phone, but for her phone as well, because we could get some information from there.
Okay. All right. So they're saying someone may have had. That's Trini Gal is adding to the conversation. I hear you, Trini Gal. We have over 300 people right now watching, and we are grateful. The community is building. Y'all go ahead and y'all go ahead and share. We wanted to get to know Miya as a person here, and I didn't want her to just be a hashtag. So many people are just seeing, a random name, and they don't know the person here. Try to call the search team that found Army girl Vanessa Gillian. Oh, that's the lady who went missing out in Texas. I remember. Amen. Says she's going to be found safe, alive, and returned to the family. Thank y'all for the positivity. Thank y'all for allowing this family to basically call upon you in their time of need. This is what we talk about when we say community. This is what we talk about when we say, we all show up when one of us is in distress. Thank you. More eyes, the better. Absolutely. Go ahead and go ahead and share. I want to just finally ask you more about what it is that you need from the community. Obviously, the visibility is key. They're asking what social media pages should we be following? Where would they find updates if they need updates on what the family needs?
There is a Find Miya Marcano Instagram page. However, her dad posts any updates and information about, and he's at DJ Eternal Vibes. Eternal Vibes is, if you look up Eternal Vibes, that's her father. He's a DJ from down in South Florida, but DJs all around the world. I would just like to give you a heads up that my phone may die. And if
Okay, no, we're gonna wrap up here shortly.
Yeah.
Angela says IG Bring Home Miya Facebook group as well. Find Miya
Yes,
Marcano as a
exactly. If
Facebook
you
group.
type in her name, you will see the hashtags, you will see the pages, they're coming up, and any of them. And a lot of people also share the information from their own personal pages. So, yeah, from the community though, the only thing I would like is just for everyone to just continue to, one, of course, send your prayers, your good energy, your vibes, whatever it is that you believe in, and whoever you believe in, you pray to them and pray for positive things for us. And I want everyone to continue to spread awareness, because we need to, of course, we want to find Miya. But if anyone knows anything about Armando, about his whereabouts, if you're a family member of his, come out, speak up. Something that you may think is insignificant, like, oh, Armando liked to really eat cheeseburgers from McDonald's. You might think that's insignificant, but for us, it may be very significant to our search. If you can't get through to provide a tip, find one of us on Instagram. You could even reach out to Suzette Speak, and I'm sure she'll reach out to me and say, someone reached out to
no, we got the numbers. If
she
y'all
has
get
my
anything,
contact information,
absolutely,
and you can let me know. We're looking
quickly.
for
I saw that there's a fake Cash App, and I saw it also. The family been posted that they don't have a GoFundMe. Can you just verify for us if there's a GoFundMe, and if not, you know,
no,
we got to be very careful. These fakers.
They're not requesting any donations. People have made them and have sent them. There is a fake Cash App that was sent around.
I think you may have gone muted. Double check just to make sure. Fake Cash App. I also see something that says a vigil tonight. How have the vigils been going?
They're good. We had a good turnout. My phone is really about to die.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep
seconds.
you.
I'm so sorry.
No, you have been fabulous, and we're gonna have you back on. I really want to thank this woman.
Text me, and we'll be in contact, and hopefully you can set up another interview whenever we get some updates. That'd be great, and I'll be in contact with you.
All right, we love you. We're sending love and light to your family. Bring home Miya Marcano. Thank you to her cousin.
Thank you,
Caili Sue, and I appreciate you. And if we can get any information, I'll put the link or the number to Orlando, Orange County Sheriff's Office. We appreciate you. Love, peace, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. We'll be back. All right, Caili, you take care. All right, bye-bye.